My name is Alec. I am one of the two co-founders here at Lumyx, and I'm very excited today because we are officially launching our first product. My co-founder Thrasher and I have put everything on the line to start this business. We quit our jobs, raised a small amount of money from friends and family, and have been cranking code until our eyes have bled to get this product out for you guys. So in this video, I'm gonna cover why we actually built this product. I'll cover the demo of the product itself, and then I'll cover the pricing and how you can actually get access to it. So what we learned after talking to dozens of prosecutors, investigators, defense attorneys, and even a few civil trial lawyers is that the story for a criminal investigation and trial falls apart really quickly as it goes through the legal process, especially towards that tail end with the prosecution and the trial. The purpose of Lumyx Map is to help prosecutors and defense attorneys tell a compelling story in the courtroom with the most important information to convey: location data and an event's timeline. So let's go ahead and dive into the demo. So right off the bat, Lumyx is a 100% browser-based application, meaning there's no software that you need to go download or go get approved by your IT department. And when you open the application, you immediately get prompted to upload your location data to start with. For this initial alpha version of Lumyx Map, we decided to allow it to accept any KML location data files. These can be generated or exported from any of the digital forensics tools that you already use today, like Celebrite reader reports or Burla automotive extractions, or even cell tower dumps from a subpoena response. But for this demo, we have created a sample case on a suspect called Tommy Vercetti, who you may be familiar with if you played Grand Theft Auto, who got arrested on suspicion of selling narcotics. We were able to extract his mobile phone data using Celebrite, and in this demonstration, we want to create one exhibit on a particularly lucrative night for Tommy Vercetti's narcotics business. Let's go ahead and start out by uploading the KML file. As you can see, this happens super quickly. I want to give a huge shout out to Thrasher for actually building some really cool technology into our data processing and upload engine that allows this to go insanely fast, even for big KML files. In the next step here, the location data is in Lumyx, and we can refine the time frame. For our example case here though, we already did that refinement on the Celebrite side, so we can just save it as is. So we've created the case and we can see the location data in Lumyx Map. Before we've done anything at all, we can already use this interactive path playback feature to kind of get an understanding of what happened on this evening. We can see that Tommy started his night at this Cape Fear Wine and Spirits bar, and as the night progressed, he walked around in a 2 or 3 block radius, stopping at a few kind of peculiar locations along the way. We can use this same playback widget to see exactly where Tommy was at any particular time during the night. If we drag the start time to 10:36 and we drag the end time to 10:40, we can see that Tommy spent some time on this corner of Market and South Front Street. What could he possibly have been doing there? But with just the location data, it's still not a compelling enough story to tell to the jury. So let's go ahead and open up the Word document with the list of events that happened on this night, thanks to the prosecutor who spent all that time combing through the evidence and coming up with this document. Maybe in the next case, the prosecutor can just ask their investigator to create the story for them in Lumyx so that they don't have to do that work. But there's a lot of events in this Word document, so I'm gonna go ahead and race through adding them all to the path here. One thing I will note is that there's a few different ways to add an event. We can just press the simple add event button, but you can also just hover over any location data point on the map and click that to convert that location data point into an event. Or we could just go down to the path timeline and hover over the point in time that that event happened, and it will automatically add it to the right location on the map. So we've now added all of the events sourced from the evidence on this case. Now there's a couple of interesting features here that help you present it in a more compelling way. The first one is the 3D view of this data. So you can either click your right mouse button or use the widget with the arrows on the top right and drag that thing around to look at the location data and the map in a 3-dimensional way. It starts to get really powerful when you start combining things like the 3D view with the path playback widget. It almost looks like there's a drone following Tommy Vercetti down the street, giving the jury a really clear and crisp understanding of what this actually looked like. And the most important feature of all, which I have not talked about yet, is this big, bright leave feedback button on the top left. This initial alpha launch of Lumyx Map is 1% of the total features and functionality that we want to build into this product. But in order to get there, we need feedback from you guys. We need real-world prosecutors, defense attorneys, investigators coming into Lumyx Map using this alpha version and leaving us feedback so that we can start building this product into the version that you guys actually need. It's only been out for a couple of days, and some of the feedback that we've already gotten, we've implemented the same day that those people left that feedback. Pricing's pretty simple. It is completely free. At some point, we will need to charge for a version of Lumyx Map in order to have a business that can continue to innovate, but this alpha version is completely free. And not only that, there will always be a free version of this product available. The one caveat is that this initial alpha version is not completely open to the public. You do have to get an invite to use it. If you are interested, just go to lumyx.com, press the contact button, and you will be connected directly with Thrasher and I. We can chat about getting you access. We know that this is a really thin product. Like, there's not a ton of functionality here yet, but our goal was to launch this as early as we possibly could to find those of you out there who are passionate about serving justice and using the bleeding edge technology to do so. So that's pretty much it. We are going to be making more YouTube videos, launching new features, or telling you guys about the progress of Lumyx as a business. If you'd like to see that, it'd be awesome if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.